Now, India says it has conducted air raids in Pakistan-administered Kashmir in a major escalation of tension. One government minister says the target had been terrorist camps. A Pakistani military spokesman says that its air force has responded, but there have been no casualties. Now, both governments are said to be holding separate emergency meetings. The raids come 12 days now after a suicide attack in Indian-administered Kashmir, which killed 40 Indian troops. Well, let's speak to our correspondent in Mumbai, Yogita Limay. Yogita, obviously this points to further tensions, we get that, but conflicting stories as to exactly what's happened here.
That's right. In the past hour, we've had the Indian Foreign Secretary come out and give a statement, and he says that these airstrikes were specifically targeted at training camps of the militant group Jaish-e-Mohammed. This is the outfit that claimed responsibility for the February 14th attack in Indian-administered Kashmir that killed 40 soldiers. What the Indian Foreign Secretary is saying that it was only the camps of this particular group that were specifically targeted, and that the selection of the targets was done in a way that it avoided civilian casualties. And it says that it's been able to destroy some of these camps, and just to quote him, a very large number of fighters from Jaish-e-Mohammed, they say, have been killed. What we know from the Pakistani military spokesman is that Indian aircraft did enter Pakistani airspace, but the Pakistan version differs, of course. They're saying that these aircraft had to scramble back hastily, and while they did drop their payloads, that didn't cause any casualties or any damage.
Is there much sense that any politicians really are listening to calls to de-escalate at this stage rather than escalate the sense of tension between them?
Well, at the moment, it's important to, remember the context in which all of this is happening. In the next 2 months, we're going to have an election in India. When you've had such a big attack against your military, 40 soldiers dying, it was the worst attack in Indian-administered Kashmir in 30 years, pretty much since the start of the armed insurgency in that region. The sentiment, especially among the people here, has been that, India should seek revenge. And so the government has been under pressure to act. And that's why we're seeing now military action taking, from the Indian side. We've seen sort of Indian aircraft going into Pakistan-controlled territory earlier. 2 years ago, India claims it conducted targeted strikes in the territory. But this, sort of with airstrikes, at that time it was ground strikes. With airstrikes, it does seem to be much larger. We've already heard Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan saying just a few days ago that if his country was targeted, he would be forced to retaliate. We'll have to see what comes from those security meetings being held in both countries at the moment.
OK, Yogita, thanks very much indeed. Bring us right up to date there.